Hi loves, welcome back to my channel Expert Empire. If you are new here, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell to get notified each time I post a new video. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to sew this beautiful princess ball gown with cold shoulder and yoke. I'll also share the link to the video where I drafted this gown in the description box. Let's dive right into the video. I've turned the neckline of the front piece. So what I'm going to do next is I'll flip it over this way, making sure the center of the yoke aligns with that of the one under it. So what I'll do is pin it together this way, then work my way around this way. Using my pin, I'll pin the yoke down and take it to the sewing machine, making sure that it's laying flat. I'll start sewing from the middle here to this part. When I'm done, I'll take off the pin and just try to work my way around it and then sew this one down as well to this part. So when I'm done stitching this part, what I'll do next is I'll bring in the lining that I cut exactly the same way with this one. So with this already joined to the down part, what I'll do is I'll place the lining right side facing the right side of the sequence. The yoke would be in between, and then the lining right side facing the sequence this way. So then I'll stitch it all the way this way. You can either stitch this way or you stitch from the middle this way and then from the middle also this way. So when I'm done doing that, I'll bring it back to show us what I have. So now for the back piece, what I'm going to do is I'll stitch from this part here, half an inch all the way round, and I'll stop at this point where I'll have my zipper allowance. I'll repeat the same thing on this other side. Okay, here I'll be stitching this part as well, same with this, but I'll leave a bit space here where I'll be passing the loop through, because it's going to have a button on this part. When I turn it out, then there will be a loop here to fix the button on. I will not be stitching on this part because I want to use the inseam finishing method for this dress. Okay, so after I'm done stitching this shape up to this part, I'll go ahead and stitch the neckline as well with half an inch, then I'll turn it out and show us what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so lovelies, I've gone ahead to gather this veil net using my hand needle and thread. I prefer using this method than using the sewing machine to draw gather stitch. This method gives me the fullness that I want. So I'll be showing you how I was able to achieve this using my hand needle and thread. It's very easy. Just pick on the veil net this way, draw it out. I hope you can see, guys. Pick. Then you arrange it the way you want it to be. Just draw the thread and form your gathers. Simple as that. Then at the edge here where the zipper allowance is going to be, you will leave about 1 inch. You will not gather veil net up to the zipper allowance so that it will not have this bulkiness when you join the zipper, so that place will be relaxed and flat as possible. So you leave about 1 inch or whatever you left for your zipper allowance. You make sure you leave that same allowance on your veil net. After doing that, the next thing you do is you arrange it the way you want it to be, looking all nice and flat. Then you pin it down. What I'm doing now, I'm pinning the gathered veil net to the shiny face satin that I cut out in flare form, which will serve as the lining or the base for the veil net. Okay, so I'll just pin it down before taking it to the sewing machine. Then I'll stitch it round to secure it in place. So this is what we have. Hope you can see it, guys. This is it, gathered to the exact waist measurement, including the zipper allowance. Don't forget that, please. So this is the inside. Hope you can see. So I'll take it to the sewing machine right now and stitch it all the way with 1/2 inch. And as I stitch, I'll always make sure that I look out for the gathers to make sure that everything is laying flat and is facing the right direction. Also to make sure that no one is left behind. To avoid any issue after sewing, then you notice that some of the gathers you didn't pick it while sewing. It's very stressful because you need to go back again and start rearranging. So what I do is, as I sew, I arrange, I sew, I arrange to avoid that. Okay, so this is what we have. It's looking so beautiful. It's looking so beautiful, guys. So lovelies, after turning the neckline of the front yoke and then joining it to the down part, fixing the yoke to the down part, I remember that I don't want to use bias tape to pipe the armhole area, and that means I had to loosen this part. And then turn the armhole area of the yoke inside, just the way I turned the neckline. But if you're using bias tape to pipe the armhole area all through, you don't need to go through that stress. Okay, but if you want yours to have this look just like the way you turn the neckline, if you don't want to use bias tape for the armhole area, you have to sew this part rather before joining it to the down part of this front piece. I hope I'm making sense. What I mean is, the way you sew your neckline before turning it out, you have to sew the armhole area of the yoke the same way you do the neckline, then turn it out, give it a good press and let it have this flat look before you attach it to this down part. Else you have to go through the whole process again by loosening everything. But in my own case, I didn't have to loosen everything up. I just loosened like about 1 inch inwards and then maneuver my way through it to get this. Okay, so please don't go through that stress like I did if you want to have this kind of look. But if you want the bias, then you are free to leave it that way. Just turn the neckline and fix it, then before you use your bias tape to pipe everything in, pipe the armhole in. So if you notice, you will see for the down side you have about 0.5 inch allowance here for the armhole area. That is because I will still continue this turning of the armhole inside. I want it to have an inseam finishing. I don't want it piped. Okay, so but before I do that, what I'll do is I would fix the shoulder. I fixed one of the shoulders, so I want to show you how to do it. Place your fabric right face facing each other. This is the front piece and this is the back, one side of the back piece. Okay, so you match the shoulder together. This is the shoulder for the front side. Match it, make sure they are aligning together. Then pick the lining for the back piece and use it to turn everything together this way. Okay, then you take it to the sewing machine and then you sew with 1/2 inch. You sew it all the way with 1/2 inch. Okay, after that you turn it out, then it will look this way. See how it looks. It will look this way. This is the front and this is inside. You can see how neat it is looking. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do that. But before then, after you're done joining the shoulder, then you can see I've not joined the sides of both the front and the back piece. That's because I want it to have that inseam perfect finishing look. Okay, so what you do next is you place your pieces together, place the back and the front piece together this way. Okay, now what you do next is you match this is the fabric. Okay, then don't forget I use double lining here, so the fabric and the first lining. Okay, for the front, this is the front and this is the back. What you do is you pin it together like this, pin together like this. You make sure you are aligning straight. You go ahead and do the same thing for this other side, right side facing each other. You pick the front piece and the back piece as well, arranging it properly. You pin it down as well. Then you go ahead and sew with the sewing allowance that you left or that you used when cutting the fabric out. For me it's 1 inch, so I'll go ahead and sew it down with 1 inch here. The same thing on this side. That is for the main fabric. What you did on the main fabric, you go ahead and repeat the same thing on the lining piece. Now for the lining piece, you can see the shiny part is inside, shiny part is outside this way. You turn it out like this, making sure that the right side of the front and the back are facing each other. Then you join it this way and also stitch it down with 1 inch here. Do the same for this other side. Okay, this way. Stitch it down with the same 1 inch that you left as your sewing allowance. When I'm done, I'll come back and show us what it looks like. After I was done fixing the cold shoulder sleeve, I went ahead to turn the remaining part of the armhole that I left earlier. Then I stitched the sides like I said I would. I want to bring this to your notice in case you want to have this kind of finishing that I did. Make sure that you join the armhole first before joining the sides. It makes it easier that way. You can do it in 2 ways. You can either join the sides, both for the major fabric and the lining, join them separately, then turn the armhole. But that way it's going to be a bit difficult, okay, and time consuming. But if you want it to be very easy for you, all you have to do is first fix your cold shoulder sleeve, the right side facing the right side for the front and the back as well. Fix it to the major fabric, then you turn it with the lining. Okay, when you are done with that, you turn the armhole as well. Okay, when you are done turning the armhole, you have something like this. Then you can now join the sides. So this is what the front is looking like. Isn't it so beautiful? This is the cold shoulder. Okay, looking so neat and nice. This is the back. I've not added my zipper. Okay, I'll be doing that after I join the upper bodies to the down part. So this is the back view. This is the back. I've fixed my button. Okay, so let me show you the inside of the top part of this dress. This is the inside with neat finishing. You can see this looking so neat and fine. See guys. Okay, this is how it should look like when you make yours too. Okay, if you want to have this beautiful inseam finishing, the stitches will not be showing outside, rather it will be inside. Okay, you conceal it inside to look this way. Okay, this is the armhole, the cold shoulder. Okay, so next what I'll be doing is to take the inner lining that I'll be using. I'll take it, matching the center front with the center front of the lining piece of this upper bodice. Okay, right side facing each other. I'll pin it down all the way to the edge, this edge. Okay, I've gone ahead to pin it down. Okay, after pinning down, take it to the sewing machine and sew with 0.5 inch allowance. Okay, let me show you also to look like at the front. After you are done stitching, this is what it will look like. Okay, so I'll take it to the sewing machine and stitch it together. I'll repeat the same thing for the main fabric. Okay, so I'll match the center front with the center front of the veil net that we have already gathered together to the waist measurement. Okay, I'll go ahead to pin it down all the way around to the waist measurement. Okay, then I'll take it to the sewing machine and stitch it round with 0.5 inch seam allowance, just like I did to the lining piece. When I'm done, I'll go ahead and fix my zipper. I'll go ahead and fix the invisible zipper. Okay, and then I'll show us the finished look of this beautiful dress.
You can see how neatly sewn the yoke is. I also fixed the button to the dress. I've not yet added hard net to this dress. Okay, I'll do that later, but you can see how full it is. Yeah.
So lovelies, this is the final look of our beautiful cold shoulder ball gown. It's so beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, this is the back. You can see how beautiful and neat it's looking. Okay, and this is the front. You see, and it's so full, guys. This ball dress is giving me some vibes. I went ahead and weaved the down part of the lining, both the inner lining and the outer one. Okay, you can decide to fold it in, but I prefer doing it this way. Okay, this is the zip, the invisible zipper. Okay, now let me show you the inside of this gown. You can see how neat it is. Neat inseam finishing. The joints are not showing outside. Okay, so neat in and out. As you can see, this lovely gown is already spiced up at the back, but I want to still add some spice to it. Okay, to give it that complete princess look at the back, because the little baby that is wearing this dress is a princess. Okay, so I went ahead and made this lovely bow. Okay, it's a double bow with belts attached to it. If you want to see or know how I made this lovely double bow with belts, I will attach the link in the description box below so you can go and watch it. It's very easy to make. Okay, so what I'll be doing now is I'll be attaching it to the back of this dress. Okay, and I'll be doing that with this press button. Is the plastic one. You can it comes in two colors. This is the black one and this is the transparent color or white one. Okay, so I'll be using this black one for this dress. Okay, this is how it looks like. Okay, So what I'll do is I'll pick this one that has this pointy part, okay, will be attached on the bow at the back. You tack it with your needle and thread. Tack it in such a way that the thread will not show at the front here, okay. After doing that, you match it up to the back, place it on the area that you want it to sit perfectly on, okay, and tack the other part to the dress. You do the same thing on this other side, and voila, you have your bow sitting perfectly on the dress, okay. And you can also stitch it down directly to the dress, but you have to do that on one side and attach this to the other side, because if you stitch on both sides, you will not be able to zip it down, okay. The child or whoever is wearing the dress will not be able to fit into the dress. So in case you don't want to use this on the both sides, you can use it on one side, either the right or the left, but you have to tack one side directly to the dress, then attach this to the other side, okay, so that you can be able to open it, then unzip and wear the gown. All right, thank you very much for watching.
If you enjoyed watching this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, click on the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that you get notified each time I post a new video. Don't forget to comment and share with your friends and soulmates. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.